therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the ages. Matthew 28:19-20. As one reads and interprets Matthew 28, followers of Christ have many options available to them in today's world. There are three main categories dealing with missions: global, interstate, and local missions. This weekend, I sent out a questionnaire about the three types of missions and the mission groups that I will be explaining in the speech. I found out that only one of the 9 respondents have been on a global mission trip. Global missions involves regions outside the United States. Many regions are third world countries where financial, sanitation, and other health-related issues are concerned. Teen Missions International is one example of global missions. 2 of the 9 were familiar with Teen Missions. Teen Mission International gives young people ages 10 to 19 years of age an opportunity to go abroad and serve internationally throughout the world. This global mission reaches 34 countries like Thailand, India, Uganda, to name a few. Teen Missions International gives young people a chance to reach out to others and spread God's word. According to Scott, through my experience, I have learned just how much I can trust and rely on God, and I don't have to live off of my own strength or emotions. The best part of Teen Missions is that it is based on God's word. It is a place of fellowship, adventure, and learning. The second category of missions is interstate missions. 3 of the 9 have been involved in interstate mission trips. It involves regions within the United States. Many groups will travel outside their home state to help and serve others in need. Youth Works is one of the many interstate missions. 1 of the 9 were very familiar with this group. Youth Works focuses on ministry. They offer an opportunity for short-term youth mission trips so youth can serve, love, and grow together while serving others. Teams may do various painting, rehabilitation projects, facilitate a kids club program, or partner with other organizations working to meet community needs. Youth Works offers over 76 mission trip opportunities in the U.S. The last category is local missions. And the questionnaire, local missions ranked the highest on participation of the class, 4 out of 9. Local missions involves areas within one's home state. Many individuals tend to stay within 50 miles of their hometown. NeighborLink is one example of local missions here in Fort Wayne. They are a group that assists people in the community that are not able to do work around their homes due to physical or financial issues. Only 5 of the 9 are recalled of this organization. At the beginning of our first semester, John French invited a representative from NeighborLink to speak about getting involved in the community. NeighborLink offers over 150 projects in a year. This year, they have completed 831 projects. Their mission is to provide practical neighbor-to-neighbor expressions of God's love. If a person had a need, they post a project with which there is a need. Once the project has been posted, the NeighborLink Fort Wayne coaches evaluate, determine the necessary amount of workers needed, and select projects. Once a project is selected, the coach posts the project to the NeighborLink Fort Wayne webpage. Persons accessing the site can review the posted project and volunteer by signing up for a specific job. Project date and time may also donate tools or materials for the project. The coach and the volunteers meet at the project location and complete the project. There is no charge or donations are accepted at the project location. All 3 types of missions are important. If time and money were not limited, then one could do all 3 types of missions. Unfortunately, today money is tight for many, and scheduling time away from work is frowned upon. I believe that an individual could dedicate time to local missions because there can be an immediate response to a need. It is in low cost, can be less time-consuming and a way for people to help their neighbors come to know Christ, which will strengthen the sense of community more so than interstate and global missions. I believe that an individual could dedicate time in local missions because the community responds to a need. Global missions takes about from 6 months to a year of preparation. Many individuals have to make special arrangements for shots, transportation, passport, to raise the money, and any additional training needed before they can serve globally. It also takes some time to make arrangements for construction supplies, manpower to be organized with teams, missions, international. Once one is registered, they have to go through boot camp for 7 weeks before going overseas to the destination, which lasts from 4 to 8 weeks. Interstate mission takes about 3 months of preparation. Many groups have to make arrangements to raise the money to get together as a group and learn more about what they will do, as well as when they will arrive to the location. When working in with youth works, it usually takes 2 to 3 months with registration and making arrangements. Once the arrangements are made, the trip lasts approximately 1 week. In comparison, local mission takes about a day to a week of preparation. Many individuals have to make arrangements for the few hours or days of work off and have time to get the supplies. With Knepple in Fort Wayne, a volunteer may spend up to a week waiting in confirmation of a specific job before they can serve. I believe that an individual could dedicate time to the local missions because it is low in cost. Global mission costs involve transportation, food, housing, shots, and supplies. Team mission international trips on average of $32,000 to $52,000. However, interstate mission costs are lower. The costs include transportation, food, housing, and supplies. Youth works costs range from $200 to $400 per trip. In comparison, local mission costs much less. Some costs may include gas, food, supplies, and sometimes even housing if you're there for more than 1 day, if they'll let you. And Youth Neighbor Link in Fort Wayne cost is free. Volunteers do have the option of giving donations, but it's not required. I believe that an individual could dedicate time to local missions because there is less time consuming. Global mission takes days to weeks to travel to destination. After reaching a destination, there is usually 2 weeks to 2 months for the stay of work. Some of the projects vary from building homes, playgrounds, and schools to painting homes and schools, etc. Interstate mission takes days to travel to the destination. After reaching the destination, there is usually about a week or 2 of staying to work. Some of the projects vary from painting, building, pulling, mowing, lifting, raking, or to organizing, caring for, and tearing down, and others. The local mission takes minutes to hours to destination. After reaching the destination, there's usually a day or a few hours to stay for work. Local mission projects are very similar to global and interstate missions, but it's more community work. Mission trips aren't just about the physical property, but being built or repaired. They are about relationships with people, helping them in ways that are meaningful and lasting, sharing the gospel and transforming the lives of those who go. It changes how you view the world. I believe that an individual could dedicate time to local missions because there can be a way for people to help their neighbors come to know Christ, which will strengthen the sense of community. With global mission, there are those that serve must overcome issues like language, translation, and cultural differences. Sometimes individuals spend a lot of time adjusting to these differences, which can affect the amount of time spent on building a relationship. When individuals go on a global mission, many plant a seed or add to the purpose and drive in spreading God's word. However, very few return on a regular basis to see the growth of their actions. Those who serve in interstate missions also may experience the cultural difference, but not particularly the language issue. Thus, one can focus more on the relationship. However, However, once the mission trip is over, those that serve go back to the community, planting the seed or add to the purpose and drive it separate, spreading God's word. However, very few return on a regular basis to see the growth of their actions. In contrast with local missions, people can serve within their community or area. When individuals go on local mission, many plant the seed or add to the purpose and drive in spreading God's word, but they can also witness the growth of their actions. The process helps build community and a sense of family and closeness amongst the community. Overall, all three categories of missions are important. However, with today's economy, local missions like NeighborLink and Fort Wayne may be the best choice. I believe that individuals can dedicate time to local missions because there can be immediate response to the need. It is low in cost, less time-consuming, and a way for people to help their neighbors come to know Christ, which will strengthen the sense of community rather than interstate and global missions. In comparison, local missions takes about a day to week of preparation. Many individuals have to make arrangements for a few days or hours to work and have time to get the supplies. It costs much less. The cost could include gas, food, supplies and subsistence housing. Local mission is for the people to help their neighbors, which is in return builds community and strong relationships. As the relationships are being built, people can freely share God's word in love. As people share God's word, God's kingdom grows. The best thing people can do is let go of their worries and let God lead them to those in need. Matthew 9:37-38 says, "Then he said to his disciples, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field."